Hello guys, I'm Levi and today making little talk about different interesting topics, this time in English. So the main topics I'm going to explore on this video are related to human consciousness, relationships, extraterrestrial life, spirituality, the mind. So the reason why I'm interested to speak about these topics is because these are so potent topics which can create huge societal change on both collective and individual scales, and these are not spoken enough yet. The way these topics are often spoken is a kind of mystical language, so there remains separation between different groups of people. So most people, average person, is not interested in metaphysical topics because they see them as too out there, so to speak, and average spiritual person is not that interested in purely scientific knowledge. And the problem thus is that there is a great veil between the two, and when we mix politics into the question, it gets even funnier in a way, because scientific approach to life and spiritual approach in a way could be said to be completely opposite, but also complementary if we advance far enough that we realize there really is not separation, because spirituality, in a sense, once understood deeply, stops being something that you practice and becomes something that you are. And when we think about what most people are, in essence, it's a bunch of societal programming, and that programming is kind of bad, to put it lightly, because it keeps you in a stuck reference point in consciousness. And yes, this is how politics intersect these two, because politics is really partly ideological, or mostly ideological, and ideologies are religious, of religious origin, and religion is of spirituality. And when we intersect that with scientific knowledge, it gets interesting, because the world and how it's led is not by any purely rational basis, but by religious conviction by different groups, and this also advances to much further in the universe, so into positive, negative frameworks. People have individual preferences for how they want to consciously be, so it's not random that the earth is like this. And the great ignorance of negativity is on this earth, that the ignorance of negativity means that we are afraid of negativity. We treat it as some kind of taboo subject that should not be discussed at all and that should be shied away from. Yet, in a way, negativity is actually a key for all of these things, because it's a falsehood to pretend that we don't have negativity in ourselves and that we are complete beings, because when we do that we become much lesser version of ourselves, much less expressive, hiding our shadows, and also don't have such deep connections with other human beings. And at the age of social media, instant information, perhaps it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing that there isn't a space for smaller community where actual growth happens and moves up into political order, because currently the algorithm-based social media platforms don't really allow societal change to a degree that could be desired, basically because the platforms are not truly sovereign, but they are owned by interests and entities which do prefer control over freedom to keep themselves alive. And this is how a spiritual person gets deceived, is by the assumption that through the use of social media to express themselves they are doing a great service. But one has to be really careful in it, because even though service does exist, it's also very easy to get lost due to the sheer amount of information and cognitive overload